We'll call this emergency city council meeting to order. Today is September 27th, 2022. The time is 6:11 p.m. Madam Clerk.
Mayor Ronnie Felder.
Here.
Chairperson Kashamba Miller Anderson. Chair Pro Tem Shirley Lanier.
Here.
Councilperson Trodrick McCoy. Councilperson Julia Botel. Here. Councilperson Douglas Lawson.
Here.
City Manager Jonathan Evans.
Present.
City Clerk Claudia Anthony is present. City Attorney Don Wynn.
Here.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. We will have a moment of silence followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Dr. Botel.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have any deletions or additions or substitutions for the agenda this evening?
None from staff, Madam Chair.
Motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt the agenda.
Madam Clerk.
Councilperson Botel.
Yes.
Councilperson Lawson.
Yes.
Chair Lanier.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. There is no consent agenda, so we will move into our regular agenda, item 11A.
Resolution number 132-22, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Riviera Beach, Palm Beach County, Florida, declaring a state of local emergency, waiving procedures and formalities otherwise required by ordinance pertaining to expenditures, empowering the city manager to compel evacuation, providing an effective date and for other purposes regarding Hurricane Ian, effective September 27th, 2022. Madam Chair, members of the board, there are no public comment cards on this item. The acceptance of public comment cards on this item is now closed.
Motion to approve resolution 132-22.
Second. Mr. Evans?
Madam Chair, members of the board, the item before you this evening is to enact the emergency declaration that will facilitate the City of Riviera Beach moving into an emergency response status. We have been watching what has been occurring as a result of Hurricane Ian, and our fire chief, who is assisting in the management of our emergency management team, will provide a update to the board. The intent behind this particular resolution allows for us to enact certain powers and authorities that are provided to the city manager as well as the mayor to enter into contracts, to procure the certain services, to deploy appropriate personnel with regards to our emergency response, and then obviously make any resource necessary or available that's necessary to protect the health, safety, and the welfare of our community. This also includes the component associated with the emergency pay plan that provides for additional compensation for those that are providing emergency support services as a result of their emergency response duties. Because of the weather conditions, we have closed city operations for tomorrow, and only emergency personnel as well as the emergency management team will be providing services commencing early tomorrow morning at approximately 7:30, and then looking to provide services throughout the remainder of the day. We do have strike teams that are available this evening to be able to respond to any issues or concerns residents may have, and we're encouraging folks to definitely watch the weather, to not go out in inclement weather. You will hear that the storm has intensified, and it has actually shifted more eastward, which anticipates the impact to us to be significantly more than we had projected back at 2 o'clock today. So it's an ever-evolving situation, but we do want to provide you with a real-time update, and we will be providing this update for the community. Chief Kurt, if you can get into the update that we've just received.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Council.
Hold up.
Fire Chief.
Yes, there you go.
Just one, two. Just one, two.
See if it's on, Chief.
Good evening, Council. John Curd, Fire Chief. So we just received the 5:30 update as it relates to Hurricane Ian, and what we've seen over the last 3 updates, starting with last night's 11 o'clock update, those this morning and those this evening, is the storm is continuing to stay eastward. We've had multiple meetings with the National Weather Service today, Palm Beach County, ZOC, and talking about what we're going to do as a county and as municipalities within that county. And looking at and following suit with the state and Palm Beach County and several other municipalities, we were looking to declare a state of emergency. In the event we are severely impacted, we will have the mechanism and pieces in place to provide resources to our community. Right now, we're seeing Hurricane Ian as a major hurricane. It's actually shifting to make landfall south of Tampa now, somewhere in that Fort Myers area, and it could bring the storm across just north of Lake Okeechobee. We've already seen multiple warnings go up. Okeechobee County, and it's now under a hurricane hurricane warning. We are under a flood advisory. We are under a tornado watch. We are under a tropical storm watch, which could produce winds in our area anywhere between, I believe it's 39 to 73 miles an hour. Those are sustained winds. I think we can see gusts that'll be higher than that. I think we're going to have significant flooding issues. Fortunately for us, as this is not a storm approaching from the east, so we don't have storm surge to be concerned with. This is mostly going to be a significant wind and rain event, but it's going to sustain for a great period of time. We're going to see inclement weather increasing throughout the night, all day tomorrow, and possibly Thursday. The biggest problem we're seeing is as the storm is making landfall and moving north, there's a front that's coming down that's going to impact the storm, that's going to keep the storm over land just off of our, just to our west for a significant period of time. We have all of the resources. PD has put together a great operational plan that they're going to be putting in place tonight, along with FD, making sure that our services aren't impacted. But I would suggest to you all, and I would suggest to our residents, whatever last-minute preparations you need to make, they need to be made tonight. It will not be safe on the roadway tomorrow, and it's fair to say that Thursday is also going to be a day of inclement weather.
Madam Chair?
Yes, go ahead.
Also, with regards to that, we have an app, Go Riviera, so you can go to your app store and download that app. That app will allow for you to pinpoint where there's an issue, and we have staff that's going to be monitoring that consistently through the activation to provide that to our strike teams that are going to be out, if necessary, this evening and then tomorrow. We are only bringing in a small number of personnel as it relates to the emergency operations team, and then those that are on the strike team, and then obviously public safety has staffed up accordingly to be able to provide service. We will also facilitate updates with the elected officials, and we will be able to provide you with those updates and those time and when those updates would occur, probably after our 7:30 in the morning briefing. So probably around noontime, we can give you an update as to what we're experiencing. But again, really encouraging residents not to go out in the inclement weather. We are going to get sustained winds that are probably going to be upwards to 30 to 45 miles an hour. Realize that there is a point where we take our higher profile vehicles off the road, and first responders cannot go into a situation that is problematic or concerning for them in the event that the weather is very bad. So please, if there is a situation, obviously dial 911 and we will get there, but let's not put our first responders and our emergency management team in harm's way because we wanted to go out and see what was happening in the neighborhood. Please call those in. Our non-emergency line or our emergency lines all will be active, and we will have the appropriate resources to respond. We also will be working with the Office of the Mayor to provide updates to the community throughout the duration of the storm event. And staff is prepared to answer any questions and recommends approval of the resolution that's in front of you this evening.
Just one question. What is the app called?
Go Riviera.
Go Riviera.
I just opened it. It's very nice.
Okay, very good. Are there any other questions for Mr. Evans or the chief? Recognize that the chair is at the dais, Councilwoman Kashama Miller Anderson. No questions, Madam Clerk?
Councilperson Lawson?
Yes.
Councilperson Botel?
Yes.
Pro Tem Lemire?
Yes.
Chair Miller Anderson?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. We will have a discussion by the city manager.
Madam Chair, real briefly before part, we would like to do a quick video with the board to encourage residents to take the storm seriously. So at the conclusion of the meeting, Walter would like to do a brief video. That's it, Chair.
Thank you. City Attorney?
No, Madam Chair.
Statements by the mayor of the council. Councilman Lawson?
Thank you, Madam Chair. No.
Mayor?
Nothing, Madam Chair.
Councilwoman Bodell?
I will be postponing the Singer Island Town Hall scheduled for Thursday evening. I'll send out a notice.
And my announcement as well, on Thursday, September 27th or 9th?
29th.
29th, well, we were having a book dedication in Azure Estate, Stony Brook, but it has been postponed until next Thursday, which is the 4th. Thank you. If that is it, our meeting is adjourned.